the corpsmen are very near and dear to my heart for a multitude of reasons. Some of the best, most passionate people that I've ever worked with were Navy corpsmen because a lot like of the Marines that from my Afghan deployment, they understand the gravity of what they do, what they could be charged to do, they could have to do. Um, Doc Willingham from my first deployment. Um, we had a kid. I say kid, he was 12, about 12, 13 years old. We were in a patrol waiting to go inside this house. And this kid walks out on top of the roof of the house that we're about to enter. And we had snipers in a support by fire position. They were in a overwatch position. And this kid picks up a rifle, AK, and he like moves to the edge of the building like he's about to engage us down below. And I have the radio so I can hear all this stuff going on. And the sniper shoots this kid through the temple, eyeballs gone, then shoots him in the stomach, right?
Wow.
So this Navy corpsman is now charged with triaging what is assumed to be an enemy threat, right? And the gravity of that and the internal conflict of what he's then doing, like even at that point, um, I was able to understand that like that's a rough spot to be in, right? And that was the first moment that I'm like, and watching him work, watching him, like this isn't training. This isn't, we're not in Camp Lejeune anymore. Like, dude, you're on the rooftop of a house. It's 100 degrees outside and you're trying to save this kid's life with everything you got because that's your job, right? And then going forward, um, every other corpsman that I've ever seen, whether it's treating a casualty in a training incident or treating a Marine in combat that, is in the worst condition you can imagine from an IED. I have a huge respect for them. And I always, anytime I would get a chance to talk to the guys at Field Med, because I've been around Camp Johnson or on Camp Johnson for school or whatever. I remember running when I was in the advanced course or one of the schools over there, and we were run by Field Med, and these guys were out there, and then we're doing exercise. And I stopped and I said, "Hey, can I talk to your students real quick? Just give me like 30 seconds." They're like, "Yeah." And I think I was a staff sergeant at the time. I said, "Let me explain something to you." I said, "If you think that when people call you doc, it's lazy, or it's just like some like haphazard, nickname that the Marines give Navy corpsmen," I said, "You're fucking wrong." I said, "You earn that shit. Everybody doesn't get called doc, and if somebody called you doc, you should feel that in your chest because that means a lot. A lot of people have died, and a lot of people have treated people and earned the haunting sights and sounds and smells to be called doc." I said, "So when you leave here and you go out and you have to do the thing that you are called upon to do, and you hear doc loudly over the sounds of gunfire and rockets and mortars, hopefully, you're ready, and they were like, just ready to like attack." And I was like, "But I meant that. Like, there's a serious thing. Like when Marines need help, self-aid, buddy aid, corpsman aid, right? But the reality is self-aid if you can, buddy aid, he's probably engaged. It's probably not going to happen, depending on what you're in or what's going on. But if you yell doc, he's coming. Doc's coming, regardless. Like, and they like there was never a doubt in my mind ever in 22 years. If I yelled doc, Corman up, Doc's coming.
They're one of us. Um, I don't look at, we never looked at them as like um, anything different than one of us. Like, we maybe give them some inner, um, some infighting joking that's fun, some, jabs, but at the end of the day, like they were there with us, you know, fighting alongside us. So, um, Yeah.
Yeah. And is that how it would work, that the corpsmen were combatants until somebody was hit, and then and at which point they put their weapon down and then go?
Yeah, they carried rifles. There were times they were fighting with us. If it was a really heavy fight, sometimes they'd just sit back because they knew that they were the ones responsible to help us out. And they would be right there. In Afghanistan, my 18 Delta corpsman, he's phenomenal. He was a warrior going through doors with us. So um, yeah, they are just amazing people, and we never treated them any different. Um, and they cared so much about all of us that it was nice to have them around.
They, I would consider them actually Marines. One, I mean, they get to wear our uniform. They get to actually they get to wear the EGA on one of their ribbons for being a corpsman. Devil Docs are a different breed. They come with us on patrol. They are our friends. They are our allies. They also mend us. They mend us in any injuries that we attain whenever we can. They could do a tourniquet. They could do dressing. They could do CPR. They can bring us back to life. They have our best interests at heart. Their names are etched in our memory for what they have done for us to keep us alive, to keep us going in the fight. But those guys can fight as well. Those guys are amazing people, thick and thin, or through thick and thin. They are amazing people. Dude, I've stood shoulder to shoulder with a corpsman firing my M16A4, and it was just like we were doing talking guns with the M16, which is really hard to do. Bang, 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 bang. But yeah, I mean, if somebody goes down, they hear those words coming up, they go, bam.
I solemnly pledge myself
I solemnly pledge myself
before God and these witnesses
before God and these witnesses
to practice faithfully all of my duties
to practice faithfully all of my duties
as a member of the hospital corps.
as a member of the hospital corps.
I hold the care of the sick and injured
I hold the care of the sick and injured
to be a privilege and a sacred trust,
to be a privilege and a sacred trust,
and will assist the medical department officer
and will assist the medical department officer
with loyalty and honesty.
with loyalty and honesty.